So you guys already have seen quizzes, okay? So I'm just going to let you know that, and people who take the class online, that the quizzes, of course, are going to be posted on this website. So far, I've posted quiz 1. There will be 5 more quizzes. We're going to run them on bi-weekly basis. And then we're going to have our final exam also online, and it's going to be using this very, very simple environment. Let me just resize this to make it a little better. And I want you to know that in this class, quizzes are pretty much all the homework we have. Reading and quizzes. Reading is very important because you better prepare to understand what we're talking about. But quizzes are pretty much the way we're going to learn things and test ourselves. So when you go to practice mode, you may get something like 30 questions, 40 questions. I could actually pose how many questions to expect. But the pool of questions is much larger. I can tell you that behind every quiz, we're going to have 7 quizzes in this class. There's probably like at least three days of my life, okay? Because it's very hard to come up with questions that are not misleading. I don't want these questions to be misleading or tricky. In fact, if they're misleading and tricky, that's something I missed. I want them to be as direct, as close to the topics we cover or things that you can find in your textbook as possible. So here, I tell you explicitly, hey, I want you to try to use a calculator, and I want you to try this 1100 binary number, and of course, you know, we go here, and I want you to do that, right? Find a way to bring up the desktop calculator, go to binary mode. You can actually copy and paste in your calculator and switch to hexadecimal, and that's just hexadecimal C, right? Which is of course decimal 12, right? So, but that's your answer, right? So that's your answer, and that's how you go. Now, many questions are true or false. True or false is that you read what it is, and I want you to learn what it is. So if you make a wrong choice here, I'm not even reading this, but I'm just trying to. So sometimes it says correct answer is true when it's trivial, but sometimes the wrong answer will give you explanation why this answer is wrong. So there's actually something behind each question, and we can intentionally try to, try to go and try to answer something different way. And again, this is very simple prompt. But anyway, just be aware of it. Some of them are multiple choices, and later on we're going to have some. Puzzle-like questions where you can drag and drop pieces. But you have to practice enough so that you practice once, you practice twice, you practice the third time. Remember, I'm asking you to spend a significant amount of time at home because we have the book, we have the reading to do. Later on, I will be posting some tutorials online. I want you to be able to go through. And of course, those quizzes. So of course, I view each question here as a little learning point where I give you some information with a little bit of challenge, and I want you to memorize as much as you can, but don't approach those quizzes just mechanically. Oh, I need a better grade. What I want you to do is think about these questions. Again, I hope they are as direct as possible. And also, my view of multiple choice questions is like, let's see, required amount of memory storage for global variables is allocated at runtime, is shared by all running programs, or is allocated at compile time. The correct answer is allocated at compile time because all global variables go to that global memory segment and so forth. So I want you to think about other choices. In some cases, they're just, incorrect choices are just silly and can be viewed as laughable. I wouldn't be surprised if I write something really, really silly in those incorrect choices, and you can actually laugh at those and say, I know exactly what the right answer is. But nevertheless, if you make a mistake and, if you go next, it just tells you what the correct answer is. And again, once in a while, it could give you a little bit more information why that answer is incorrect, and you go here. When you are done, like here, right, object-oriented programming views global variables as evil. Of course, evil is not very good, right? So, but when you're done, doing your practice runs, you can take test, right? You can take the actual test, and then what you do is that you have to agree that you start a quiz, and you must do it in one session. You cannot stop the quiz, go out, have lunch, and then come back. It's not going to work. You have to allocate enough time of your life to complete the quiz, right? And so that's the plan. Really, my plan is that each quiz is going to be somewhere in the range between 30 and 40 questions. But the pool behind all questions behind those quizzes is much larger. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's more. So anyway, so every time you practice, something new will come up, and don't be surprised by that. So if you don't practice enough, on the actual quiz you may see completely, a set of questions that you really haven't seen. And if you make a terrible mistake or something, please email me. I can always help you out and reset it for you. But that's, be reasonable about it. Just wanted to let you know that that's something I want you to know, and just pay attention to that, so that we're going to essentially, have all of this posted, and that's the plan. All right. So. I hope you have a great week. I'll see many of you guys tomorrow. If not, we're done. Thank you very much.